sail and the railroad did not run. When the wild dusty mountains soared along against the sun. And long before the white man and long before the wheel. So when the rain dogs forced those in silence to be real.
Francis Whitaker began his love affair with the hammer and anvil at the ripe old age of 15 while apprenticing for a famous Philadelphia ironworker. As the saying goes, he never looked back.
The first time I took a piece of iron out of the fire and started to forge it on the anvil, I knew that was what I wanted to do.
Whitaker says his greatest assets as a blacksmith are his hands, but there's quite a bit more to mastering this craft.
It's a mixture. It's physical strength for one thing, at least in the arms and the upper body. You could probably do it from a wheelchair. It takes artistic ability. It takes a lot of determination because the material is very stubborn. And if you don't master it, it masters you.
Also, it doesn't hurt to be a good businessman. Whitaker's custom projects over the years have included a fireplace for John Denver and a gate for Exodus author Leon Uris. Whitaker says he isn't surprised by the renewed interest in his craft.
There's been a big revival among craft persons, not only in blacksmithing, but wood carving, pottery, weaving, all of those things, jewelry, and I think there's an increasing interest among the public. I have the feeling from my own experience that people are tired of things that fall apart before they get them home, and they appreciate things that have quality, because the Industrial Revolution was great for a while, and then it went off the deep end, and it turns out an awful lot of junk.
What are some of the things that you make, that you create in your shop, in your forge?
Lots of fireplace tools, fire screens, andirons, gates, railings, door hardware, chandeliers, as you saw the chandelier that just came in. From a trade, I'm classified as a housesmith because the work I do is on houses. There are other smiths that do the structural work. There are other smiths that do tool making. There are other smiths that do things in the shipyards and the railroad yards. But I'm a housesmith. The fireplace tools that I make, there's nothing to come unscrewed or come off. The shovels are forged out of one piece. They won't bend or break. They last forever. I think that there's a satisfaction in creating something with your own hands, and in many cases one of a kind, and having a satisfying relationship with clients that I still love it. I wouldn't want to, if I have to have a computer to run my business, I'll close up.
Do you ever wish that you'd gotten into a profession that you didn't have to get your hands dirty?
No. I like to get my hands clean on vacation, but I don't mind. I went to the post office the other day, and the clerk said, "How do you get so dirty?" Well, that's the way it is. I never saw a clean blacksmith.
You've done it over half a century already. How long will you go to continue being a blacksmith?
I want to die with a hammer in my hand. This is the scene at Samuel Young's I was asked to lead a crew making a gate to replace one of the gates that was going on a traveling exhibit. So we got our whole crew together and we're making a gate. This man is upsetting a corner. This gate has an arched top, curved top, or bending the curved top there. And there's the layout of the gate with the frame. Arched top is at this end with a cross piece with a fanlight. Here's Vol5 working on a piece. There I'm working on a piece with a hammer at the valves. There's the gate frame. We're just finishing the welded corner, the forged welded corner. There are 2 forged welded corners on this. Got a crew from all over. We're finishing up the corner. There was a groove on the frame. You see, there's the corner. The weld had to be made first, and then the groove carried out to the corner. And the split opening there was for where the collars go. Here's one of the classic Blacksmiths shop photos. There's Tom Joyce doing some repoussé work for the gate. I don't know what is. Oh, that's the first Veteran Memorial Workshop. There's looking up at the frame. You can see the half-lap joints from underneath. There's the frame from the front, bolted together. Here are some of the rings that went in. There's the photo of the gate that we're replacing now. That one went on a traveling exhibit. There it is on the big layout table, ready to put the quatrefoils in. Some work with a spring switch on the power hammer. Those are some of the rosettes that were put on at the half-lap joints. And they were all different. About 15 of them different. That's no Putnam riveting one of the rosettes on. There it's beginning to shape up. I'm riveting one of the rosettes on. Here's Tom Joyce's repoussé work. The first Veteran Memorial Workshop, forging in a chain. There's another piece of Tom's work that went on the gate. There it is. This was, incidentally, Tom Joyce's first repoussé work of any size. But Yellen had coffee cans with hundreds of tools left from the old days. I think he's stamping the words forged the chain. Yes, there it is. You can see even there's a collection of the rosettes, all variations. Now the quatrefoil is beginning to go in and be assembled. We worked out at this workshop Yellen's method of making the quatrefoil out of one piece by doubling it back, forging over the ends, and then opening it up to the curve and making one well at the end to make the connection. Instead of splitting it out of 4 different pieces and making 4 forge welds. The method has worked very well and since been improved slightly, but basically it's the same thing that we got from Yellen. We're putting the collars on now. Another collar being put on. There it is on edge. No Putnam and me, and I can't tell who the other one is. There, it's beginning to come to life. We did not make the lock. There's a place vacant on one of the squares, and another workshop was held later to make the lock. There's the finished gate with the space for the lock that was made at another workshop. This is at the Biltmore Mansion in Asheville, North Carolina, one of the andirons in the, I think it was a 30-room house with 30 fireplaces. A fireplace in each room. Another beautiful forged pair of andirons. Very, very fine work. But they don't know who did it. They have records of all the other craftsmen except the Blacksmiths. A nice little screen in the background also. One of the railings around the house, the mansion I should say. The detail of the crusting on the scrolls. The oval scrolls again are something that's not as easy to make. Some are very nice joinery there. That's the base of one of the lamp stands. There's the top of it, a candle, big candle holder. Yeah. One of the railings in the library. There's some very interesting Whitaker work. It was quite an experience going through there and seeing all the work in there by an unknown blacksmith. In other words, Pete Lanzetti got the idea of the unknown blacksmith, which he always wears on his hat. I think that's one of my pieces of door hardware. Yes. This is the bottom of the scrollwork and a gate. A nice little sign bracket or placator. A garden gate. The stairs were cut out of 1/4-inch plate and forge welded. There's a little stand for a store coffee table with a round top. A chandelier. That one is upside down, but will forgive the photographer. But there is the typical wire pattern. A weather vane of someone's dog from a photograph. The ears were brass and riveted on. This is a workshop in Northern California, where we made a pair of gates. I think that was 14 feet wide with a diagonal to structurally base it. Now we're off to Europe. I'm not quite sure where this is. It begins to look like Spain. We'll see. No, I think this is more likely Norway. Yes, I believe so. Norwegian Ironwork has a style all of its own. As a widow's walk on top of a building there. Nice balcony with beautiful decorative braces. And an example of the hundreds and hundreds of balconies that we found in Europe. Nice bracing detail. I think this is still in Norway, but no matter. Wherever, it was beautiful. Unusual balcony there with the big stone pillars. This was on the same house, another widow's walk. Detail of a gate connection. Another nice gate combination of cast and wrought. But the long diagonals were quite unusual. Very formal one. I was surprised that there were not better ends on the screws. This is in a park, I think also in Norway. Some nice door hardware and door braces up in the lower part. A simple but very effective window grill. Some door knockers there. Where are the balconies? Everywhere you go. Very simple, formal one, but most interesting braces to hold it up with the half-circle brace. Yeah, this is in Norway. Nice curved balconies. Big, long projection with a stone brackets to hold them up. Interesting detail of a stairwell. rows of wings are used so much and so effectively. Here is another one of the wonderful curved balconies with flowing lines from the center out. Nice piece of joinery there, but I noticed the scroll lines were not so well finished as usual. A little bit dubbed off. A street light. More of the tie braces for the brick buildings. We found those all through Europe. That one had particularly nice brackets to hold it up. Again, the rows of rings together. Sign for a ship traveler. Interesting detail with the horizontal bars pass through on an angle. Lots of heavy plate pieces on that, and lots of intricate forge welding. More of the lovely balconies with an infinite variety of scrollwork. Most interesting film light with not the center not connected to the outer room. There's one of the dark rows. Most of these were on Dutch doors. Double doors, I mean. Beautiful hardware there. I think the center was a bare moon pull. There's one with a knocker. Another knocker and door hinge combinations. I'm sure that the scrolls were jump welded on the side. Very simple, but very pleasant, practical door knocker. Nice use of the little circles. And the scrolls that ended in a point were seen a lot of those in Norway. And there's one of the knockers with a beautiful back plate to it. Look at all the forge welding on that. Railing in a market. And there's a beauty with cast iron and lots of pass-through and leaves and forge welding. A little widow's walk. Very formal bit of railing. I don't know what the little center is for. Another knocker with very distinctive ornamental bosses all around it. I've never seen one with the verticals cut off so they didn't go all the way through. And there's a little shot of my country. Hand-ons with the offset light that I find very useful. Fire screen with notched places to go fit over the andiron leg. Little lower than. Yeah. Some 5-light candle holder with glass cups. A railing around one of the homes in Aspen. A very simple fire screen with a requisite decorative panel at the bottom. Some fireplace tool handles for a man that likes triangles. There's the base of the fireplace tool. There's another nice little garden gate. Yes. A pair of tall, narrow gates with a fanlight at the top. There's the bed of peace. For a knocker. There's a nice piece of the railing. You can see how many feet of railing I made. And the gate was set back in a reveal, which made it very attractive. One of the old Victorian houses. This is around the Mountain Forge in Aspen. This is that curved balcony with the most difficult piece I ever made with a lattice work underneath. This is a cross, an eagle that was made in Germany. The center part was forged out of 3/4 by 6. A headboard for a home in Aspen. And we got to Europe in a hurry. This may be in New Zealand. Yes, I believe this is in New Zealand. Interesting pattern. Yes, this is a pair of the diagonal braces to hold the canopy over the sidewalk. Another one is a simple chain, but quite a nice wall fastening with an animal head on it. (1863). This is one with cast iron spears and painted green. Another combination fire escape and balcony. Some of the wonderful big hinges and hardware. A nice pattern with the double C-screws alternated with lattice work. One of the many gates also made is painted white. And so is that one. Very formal rectangular pattern on that. I think that's one of the homestays where we spent the night. Charming places, charming people. Nice bit of square riveted together. There's some color for you also. The dog bars were prevalent everywhere. Of course, in New Zealand, they could have been for sheep. A light bracket. Nice bit of colored stairwell. More balconies. Very simple front door grill. Another one through the door. Oh, that's a spider web pattern in the center. Rather formal window grill. Especially nice little forging there with the leaves on it. A little bracket for a door. All kinds of possibilities. I'll be in New Zealand again and looking forward to finding more and different ironwork. Nice pattern there. Also, that one is red. Very elegant little door hinge. Another. I think that was a guard to protect the wall. And the churchyard with nice little details on the top. Somebody with some real imagination made that one. Those are the biggest tire protectors that I had seen anywhere. They were huge, about 4 feet high. An almost modern window grill. A spider pattern. Oh, this must be in Italy. Yeah. Right again, the right colors is not bad. A wonderful forge welding on that one. As well as this one. Very simple window protector. There's another one of the big building tie bars. And this is about as fancy as you can find. There's a little section of a big gate. Endless patterns. I'm sorry about the flash, but I had to use it. So many of the doors were recessed and not very good light on them. Nice bit of journey there too. that one for color. And that one's for interesting scroll in the center of the scroll has two little scrolls on the end. That's a protection for light well. A gate with a cast iron fingers on it. Interesting stairwell, but not very practical. A little small window guard. I like the shadows on the wall. Some very difficult forge welding on that. Some more of the big decorative building ties. They used on the brick buildings over there. A little small entry gate. Very simple, almost modern little railing. That one has particularly nice lines flowing out. Detail of the base of the window. No, that's a pair of gates. Yeah. Some beautiful forge welding on those fingers. Some very nice lateral base on the inside. And then a touch of gold leaf. Truncated tree fall. There's one with a lot of the gold leaf on it and beautiful repoussé work. Another bowled out balcony. Lots of gold leaf on that one. A very, very intricate pattern. Some little window guards, also with gold leaf on them. A rather formal, almost modern window grill, door grill. Another with the use of the large leaves and lots of square corners. This looks more like Holland. Yeah, I'm sure this was in Holland with the colored paint, blue and white. Yes, this is Holland. The entrance to one of the palaces with a beautiful custom with lots of gold leaf. Some very fine lanterns. Another inside lighting fixture. The detail of the fixture. More decoration on the Whitakers on the fixture. Another detail is the spiral handle. As a detail of the base. And a very large wall fixture. Those shades are about 6 inches in diameter. There's a detail of some of the work on it. Beautifully done. That was the entrance gatehouse to a large estate. There's a detail of the cresting on the half of the gate. And look at all the scrolls there. That was a wonderful piece. It really made the trip a pleasure to find so much lovely ironwork all over. Never-ending balconies. Whoever made that wasn't happy with it, so they put that mesh in the back of it. There's a very nice head bolt for a door. And the flower pot certainly enhanced the ironwork. More nice, like I say, bosses on the door. They went to so much work on the bottom of that. Here's one of the great pieces. Another one of the wonderful door hinges and door decorations. Details on the balcony braces with the gold leaf rosettes and what they say. Don't remember this one. This one might be in New Zealand, looks like. Yes, I think so. Yeah. Some fabulous work. That's an iron plate on the door. That one really took my fancy. Someone was really playing around with motifs. And that one also. That one was not only bowed out from top to bottom, but bowed out crosswise. And look at that one, how that one projects out. A little five-sided one on top of an entryway. There's an example of what can be done with wrought ironwork. I think these cars in this gate were cast on and not forged. Very playful design. A lot of the truncated little ends. There's a fine example of a little door glow. And the little stars coming out are quite distinctive. I guess that was a double door knocker for right hand or left hand. Nice pattern with the half circles there. And here's a most unusual pattern within those rings. This begins to look like Spain. I think so. Yeah, I'm sure this is Spain. Another door knocker. And there's a beautiful flowing balcony. The spacing is unusual. A lot of pass-through work on that one. Very intricate pattern, especially those 8-sided ones on the top. Nice finish on the handrail. I have turned now to leveling the handrail off at the bottom of the rail. It makes a nice grip, and it also tells you that you're at the bottom of the rail. So I've been doing that for quite a few years. There's no ends of the patterns of what you can do with the scroll. I couldn't tell from down below, but I think those balusters were forged from solid. Nice fan light. Very formal. But you notice most of the shutters are drawn or the shades are drawn on the balcony. Yeah, this is in the northwest quarter of Spain. So, these are different customs we found in different provinces. kinds of patterns with the scroll and the lozenge. Those were most intricate. I could not see how they would join because of the rosette in the center. And that's about as simple as you can get. This was really an extension of the room because it was glassed in on all three sides and the top.
He's the village blacksmith, but he has never made a horseshoe. Whitaker is an artist who crafts iron.
The first time I got hold of a piece of hot iron I knew that was what I wanted to do.
The first time was 1922. At age 80, with hands too dirty to get clean anymore, he is still grabbing the hot iron from the forge.
There's a fascination in taking a stubborn material and shaping it to your will. The quality that iron has that other materials do not have is its strength and its potential for beauty. And it's up to the smith to bring out that beauty.
Whitaker's decorative work can be found around the world, but it's most prevalent in Aspen, Colorado, where he has worked for a quarter of a century. The town's Victorian architecture is an ideal setting for the artistry of this blacksmith. His work is so popular, people stop him on the street to talk business.
I was wondering about these are characters and this elementary work here.
How many?
50? Well, one would be enough. So I was just trying to figure out.
50, I won't live that long.
Still, at 7:30 every morning, he's back at his Mountain Forge shop. For the last 15 years, Whitaker has spent a lot of time passing on his knowledge and skills to other blacksmiths. But don't let the grandfatherly face fool you. He's from the old school and demands perfection and hard work.
If you don't have the pride in your workmanship, you're not going to do your best work. And you're not going to get to the top.
Whitaker says he's disappointed that he has not found a young blacksmith with the same pride and desire he has to join him at the top, to take over the business when he retires. Roger O'Neill, NBC News, Aspen, Colorado.